One of the first things you fourth graders need to realize is that when you're coming to lunch, you'll either be coming to lunch from class or you'll be coming to lunch from recess. So when we're coming to lunch, one thing we're going to do is we're going to walk down the hallway. We're not going to run. We're not going to cut in front of people. You're going to walk with your class. Don't jump up in front of everybody and get in somebody else's class. Walk with your class from recess in the order in which coach sends you in. Stay with your class and walk down the hallway. When we walk into the lunchroom, we are going to walk around the tables. Okay? We're going to walk around the tables to get in a line. We're not going to walk straight across. Hey, Jack.
What?
You hear what I said? You're supposed to walk around the tables.
So?
What have we learned here today, ladies and gentlemen? That when you walk into the lunchroom, walk around the tables. Otherwise, there will probably be repercussions. When we line up in the lunchroom, we're going to line up in a single file line. We're going to line up in a single file line along the bleachers. Okay? We're going to stop the line right here at this last rail. This is where you come to a stop, and we'll discuss later how do you know when you're supposed to leave here to go get your food. But one thing we're not going to do, once we line up in a single file line, we're not going to bunch up down here, start talking amongst ourselves, bunching up, because the problem is when you come down here to talk to your buddy, and so back here thinks you're cutting in front of them, and everybody's getting upset and all that. We're going to stay in a single file line. Seated on the bleachers. Another thing we're not going to do. We are not going to stand on the bleachers. The reason is, I'm down here in line, doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm sitting on the bleachers. Here in a minute when the line moves down, I'm going to slide down to the next spot. And the thing is, I don't know where these nasty feet have been. I do know they've been outside. They've probably been in the bathroom. Okay, and then I've got to slide down in his nastiness that he left from his feet, and I'm going to be sitting in there. Appreciate that, Sherman.
You're welcome.
Good night. Sit down. Don't stand up on the bleachers. Cafeteria rule number 632. One thing about the cafeteria, sometimes it's pretty loud in here. Because us guys, we like to talk, right? We come down here, we like to talk and eat and have fun. But one thing we're not going to do is make extra noise. I don't mind you talking in the lunchroom. But one thing we're not going to do, guys, is we're not going to kick our feet while we're waiting in line. Silence! Because it makes too much noise. Okay? And another thing we're not going to do. We're not going to be playing patty cake in line. Now look at this. There's a couple of reasons. Y'all just keep it up. There's a couple of reasons why we don't play patty cake in line. One is, guys should never play patty cake. Ever. Second rule is it makes too much noise. Stop it. We're not going to play patty cake in line. Cafeteria rule number 1203. Cafeteria rule number 37.
Hey Sherman, can I get in front of you? Sure, Bill, you're my best friend. Thanks.
Oh, wasn't that a cute scene? Wasn't that great? Wasn't that nice of Sherman here? Sherman, he's a great guy. He's a nice guy. If any of you ask Sherman, hey, Sherman, can I get in front of you? Sherman's going to say, sure, Bill, you're my best friend. Sherman says that to everyone, even if their name's not Bill. But even though that's really nice of Sherman to let him in front of him in the line, the problem is that Bill just not only cut in front of Sherman, he cut in front of this guy, he cut in front of this guy, he cut in front of this girl.
Hey!
I mean, this guy, he cut in front of everybody else in line. Okay? So one thing that we're not going to do, we're not going to cut in line. Cafeteria rule number 37. When we're in the lunch line and I tell you, hey, let's go, time to get your food, or the lunch lady say, come on, well, first you'll swing by and grab your drink right here in that box. You'll grab milk or a juice. Now, I want to show you, look what Curtis here did. Okay? He stopped at that rail where he's supposed to stop. How did Curtis know to stop right then? How come he didn't go get his drink? Well, look. See this magical green line right here? Once we have students on this side of the magical green line, that means that Jim over there needs to stop when he gets right here. He sees that there's too many people already in line. And so Jim's going to stop. Right, Alex?
Okay.
All right. So, now, once these guys have their drinks and they're going along getting their food, once they move past the magical green line, see the magic? Then that means that Taylor can go ahead and go get his drink. Now, most of the time we make this real easy on you. I'll be in there and I'll wave you on. Come on, it's time to eat. Sometimes the lunch ladies say, come on, it's time to eat. And they'll be waving you on. But if nobody's there to wave you on, okay, then you make sure you watch for the magic of the magical green line. Cafeteria rule number 832. All right. Now, one thing we're not going to do once we get our drink, once you get your milk or your juice from the drink box. And for some reason, a lot of 4th grade boys want to do this. They like to throw their milk up in the air and catch it. The problem with that is, I throw my milk up in the air, oh my, and I miss it, and all of a sudden, Billy Bob Joe Franks III, standing behind me, who didn't see me throwing my milk, he just steps on it, we got milk everywhere. Or if I'm throwing a juice or something, it just splatters on the floor, and guess who's got to clean that up? Okay? I hope you, but you're wasting milk, you're wasting juice, don't throw it. Okay? That is cafeteria rule number
565. Cafeteria rule 803. Cafeteria rule 7. Cafeteria rule 2/3.
All right, here we are, a normal day in the cafeteria. We're coming to lunch. I'll wave you on. Let's go, guys. Come on up. And everybody's coming to get their food.
How about that?
Stop. Here's the problem. I want that. Let me show you something. Come back here for a minute. From the beautiful lunch lady's perspective, when they're standing back here, they can't see what you're pointing at. Do you understand? They can't see. So what you've got to do is you've got to make sure that you speak up and that you tell them what you want. I'd like to have blue Doritos. I would like to have stuffed animal guy. Okay? Whatever it says on these little cards, you tell them what you want. If you can't read what's on the cards, then ask the person behind you, hey, what's that say? And make sure, and that says Cheetos. Okay? You need to tell them what you want. They can't see what you're pointing at. So, as they've already said, lunchroom rule what? 2/3 is don't point at the food. Make sure you tell them what you want to eat.